Troublous times are here, filling men's hearts with fear. Freedom we all hold dear, now is at stake.
See me with, this is my Bugout bag, right? Remember, this is what you're gonna have to run with. So you need to know how much you can carry, know how much you need, and it's gonna vary. This is a very a personal thing to some level. This can be a strainer for your water. This can be your hat for covering. This security in terms of you get a cut, whatever it is, this is endless possibility. And it weighs nothing, and it's on the outside. Yes. This is a carabiner. You see this little thing here? We got it. We see how flexible these things are. When you are in the woods and you need to hang something, most of the time all you got is a tree. Right? You stick your little bag on that, and away from the ants and the bug where you're trying to hide your food, you stick it somewhere, right? Or anything else off the ground. Very, very invaluable. And there are many other uses for that.
Guys did the hardest part.
Yes, it's gonna be three. So here what the brother is doing is overlapping. He's going up under to overlap in order to create a tripod. All right, they have to be the same size. Remember the same size.
Amen. So one easy way to start a fire, one way that I like to use, or one way that's easy to carry, is you could carry this, and it takes a little bit longer to make a fire with this one, and you have to have direct sunlight. Another thing is fat wood. How many are familiar with fat wood? Fat wood, when a tree dies, all the sap from the tree, what it does is when it's dying or when it's about to die, the sap tries to go back to the roots or try to go to the core of the tree to try to maintain it alive or keep it alive. So now that I got the shavings from the fat wood, this is what you want. You want the shavings from the fat wood, just like. Now you want a ferro rod is something good to invest in because this ferro rod is to start a fire. This could get wet, and you can still use it.
Wow.
Learn is to put the knife on your boot or on your shoe and then pull this way so all the sparks fall in one direction. So another way to start a fire, let's say you don't have fat wood. What you could carry also, steel wool. Steel wool. Now what is good with this? Well, first the bag itself you can fill with water and you can use it as a magnifying to make a fire too. But the wool itself could actually start a fire. But you need one other ingredient or tool, and that will be a battery. And I'm gonna show you how to make a fire with this. And like I said, I keep extra bag because you can fill it up with water. You can use it for different things.
Make a fire with batteries?
With batteries, yep. Can you hold this out throughout?
Wait.
So you don't need a lot.
No, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of this either. It has to be very fine. I think it has to be 0.000, the finest you can find. You want to grab 9-volt Duracell or any battery, 9-volt.
9-volt battery. 9-volt Duracell battery. 9-volt Duracell. 9-volt battery.
So as soon as you touch it, you guys can come closer if you guys want to see how it sparks up. Because we already have a fire going.
Wow. So
Practical.
So you mean, I really want to make sure that I understand. So you mean to tell me I can go to this
pond right here. Get some water. Put it in a recipient.
You want to go to that water and you want to come inland to where it's like this and the water's there.
Okay.
Within 3 foot.
Yes.
And you want to dig a hole. Foot and a half. Make it wide enough so you could put a cup in there or something like that so that you can get your water. You got to let that water seep in. It's being filtered through the earth. It's being filtered through all the dirt, the plants, all the sand, everything. When it gets into that hole, you let it settle down. Come back an hour later, and that's if you're like in an area, let's say you stopped. You're going to be here for a day or 2 days. That's what you do. If you're on the move, you're not going to do that because you're going to be waiting. It takes too much time. But if you're sitting there, and let's say your family's going to be there for a couple of days, we need to wait this out. Everything doesn't look good over there. Let's stop and wait. You do something like that. Now everybody could go over there and pick out of that water. And it's safe water because it's being filtered through the earth. Now what I would do is I would take that water out of there, even though it's filtered, doesn't mean that you killed everything in it. I would boil it.
Okay.
Boiling water is the #1 thing to do.
Yes, yes. I've
Absolutely, without a doubt. They've been doing it since the beginning of time.
Yep.
You boil the water.
That's how we did.
Back then, you used to be able to go to a stream and drink water, and it was perfectly fine. But we didn't have what we have now. Now you got chemicals going in the water. You got all kinds of stuff
all
going
this
in the water.
Nuclear weapon, they've been testing all that.
So you want to, if you can boil your water, definitely boil, even if after it's filtered. You know, like in a situation like you were talking about, if you're on the move, you know, you have a filter, you drink out of that, that's going to take out a lot of bacteria, a lot of everything that's going to be in it, and you're going to be fine, because the last thing you want is not to be hydrated.
Yes, yes.
Right? Our brains are what, 85% water, and our bodies are 70% water. That means that we cannot operate without water. So it's that simple. But one of the things with water, right? So if you're in an area that you're actually in a wilderness type of area, and you're hiking through a certain area, and you see a stream of water, it's flowing. Man, that water looks crystal clear. Man, that water looks good. That water's probably not that good, because that water's probably traveling a mile, 2 miles, and there could be a dead animal in there.
Can I see it?
There could be an animal going to the bathroom there, and the water looks clear here, and man, this water is good, and you're sucking in all that into your body. Now, you're pretty much done. You might not die from it, but you're not going to be a happy cat out to the source, because that's a spring. That's what you're looking for. So where this water is flowing, there's other channels that go through. You look for that smaller channel, and it's probably gonna be up elevated from where you're at, and you're looking for the spring, you're looking for the source, and you follow that all the way until you find where there is no water, and you dig that out. That water, you can drink 100% with no problem whatsoever. That is coming from the earth, untouched, unmolested. So you said if you're on a homestead, there's 2 methods, right? Rainwater is definitely one of them. The other thing that we always have is the humidity in the air. It's called the fog net. So you take a fog net and you just drape it. And below that you have a gutter. And then at the end of that, that gutter is going to be a little bit inclined, and you're going to have a collection source here. They collect fog water from the air. Turns night, turns day, the condensation builds up on that net. You shake off that net's just gonna start dripping. And next thing you know, you got fresh, clean water out of the air.
Now, for Christians at home, why is it so important for us Christians to know these things?
Well, as Christians, we know because we based on God's requirements, we see how the world is going, and we know that the time that we're living in, we're coming to an end, And when I say an end, is we know that Jesus is coming very soon, actually imminently, and with that coming to a close, the world is changing. Satan is getting even more wrath.
How did you enjoy today? What did you learn from today's experience?
So the two areas that I really was able to come for was starting a fire and also being able to collect clean water. And I learned a lot. Even though I was always in pathfindering, one of the things that I learned was different ways to start a fire, especially with the steel wool and the 9-volt battery. I've never done that before. So that was very helpful, because not only was it different, but it is much easier. And if you're a single person, as long as you practice safety, it is, better. It's a quicker way of starting a fire.
Hey, Sister Sharika.
Hello.
How did you enjoy your experience here today?
Well, today was great. It was very knowledgeable about a lot of skills that you need for the last days. We learned how to build fire. We learned how to put up our tents, how to harvest clean water, and a lot more stuff too. It was really interesting.
And why is it so important for the Christian to know these things?
Well, because a crisis is coming up on us, and we are told that we need to get out of the city and be in the country, and that way we will learn how to not depend on the government system, but learn how to be self-sufficient.
How are you?
Good.
So how did you enjoy your experience today?
I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I think it was a good idea to do this. And everything was really good. I actually enjoyed everything I learned, because I know we'll need to use it someday. So I think it was very helpful.
And what were some highlights from today?
So one thing that really stood out for me was when we were doing the shelter, and Sister Nadine had the fish line, and how you can go ahead and kind of line off let's just say a certain perimeter, and you can do that for animals, and you can also do that even for people.
Yeah. Now, would you recommend the experience you had here to others?
Definitely.
Definitely. Now, why is it so important for us to learn these things?
Well, it's preparation, and not all of us have this knowledge. So like I didn't have that knowledge, and Sister Nadine's sharing with us. So I think we can pass on that knowledge to others. So I think that would be the reason.
Amen. Amen. Ralph, what did we do here today? Why did we come here today?
Actually, we came here today for a survival training. And the reason why these events are important, especially for us Seventh-day Adventists living in the last days, is because we know that the time of trouble is ahead of us. We know that we have to face the little time of trouble and the great time of trouble. We have more sessions that are coming. So if you want to be part of it, you can always reach out to us. And that way we can notify you when we are going to have our next session. Because we plan also to talk about how to identify edible wild plant. Today we not cover that in this session, but in our upcoming session we are going to cover that. And as I was preparing this session, there's a statement that was always in my mind. In Great Controversy, page 620, especially paragraph 2, it says, those who delay a preparation for the day of God cannot obtain it in the time of trouble, nor at any subsequent time. And it says, for such their case is hopeless.
This is my